Grateful for the win. It was tough. The girls, it looked like they were out there on a slip and slide. It was so humid in the pavilion tonight, but we weathered the storm. I thought it was incredibly tough for both teams to play on this Tuesday, but it's what we have because of things that we couldn't control with COVID. So I'm glad we were able to come out on the winning side of it. That has not always been the case. Again, this is our second case of adversity versus Vanderbilt. It was more so the game was tight and we were able to pull away, and then tonight we had to just fight through some physical and mental fatigue. So really proud of our team, and we're going to try to get as much rest as we can for Thursday and then again Sunday.
After the Vanderbilt game, you said that during that A&M game, I guess a week or so ago, you felt like you kind of refocused or regrouped, returned to bases.
Yeah.
What have you seen over this stretch that's kind of solidified that?
Yeah, the play when you saw Maddie with the big block, that's who we are. We defend, you know. So we turned it over, and I said it doesn't matter that we turned it over because we're going to get the stop. And the crowd got involved, and we had some huge stops. The miscues that we were having was simply because we were kind of just mentally fatigued, not locked into our defensive principles. And that's something that we have to get used to in the SEC tournament. You know, we want to play for as long as we can. So that means you have to play back-to-back. And so, but defensively, we're back. That's who we are. You know, if we get 70 points, great. But if we get 54 and that's how we win because we're playing good defense, great, because that's what our mojo is. That's what gives us confidence, allows us to get out in transition and play the way we want. And I would have played a little faster tonight, but we just didn't have it. So had to slow it down, which was really good for us because we need to be better executing in the half court. And not every time we're just going to be able to get out and run. And so we were missing some points on the board because of that. But I was really glad that we were able to execute in the way that we needed to and then get stops the way we needed to.
You talked about playing through adversity. Just how important is it seeing your team win these close games kind of as a checked box before March?
Huge, huge, because, I mean, little things can send you home, right? And so, for example, like this one, she's in the huddle telling Maddie, wait to take the ball out. They score, she runs to take the ball out. Like, these are like mental miscues, but guess what? They're teachable moments. And so, because if the game was tied, like Maddie missed those 2 free throws. So we want certain people to get the ball. Well, you can't learn if you don't have situations like that. And luckily, we're able to learn from a win. So obviously, everyone's more engaged after you get a win and wanting to learn. So we need these kind of challenges, honestly. For us, it builds our character. You know, we're going to be tested going on the road with a fresh Auburn team. But are we going to make excuses or are we going to continue to grow? Because that's what it's about. And I think in February, everyone's tired. You know, everyone's tired, everyone's hurt. And there are no excuses, and so we're not going to have one as a group.
Monk, I think, had the last 8 points for you guys. She had that big steal, too.
Yeah.
Angel scored 13 points in the second half. Just how important is it to have those sorts of players who can step up in the clutch moments? And I guess for you, Angel, just what makes you confident in those sorts of moments?
How important is it?
It's extremely important. I mean, it was the difference maker between this year and last year. You know, we need guard play. You know, we need to be able to space the floor. And with Monk and Angel coming in, I mean, they're going to have to step it up even more with Donetta going out. So, you know, they just come in and they play their role and they continue to be aggressive and they just put pressure on the defense. And that's what we need when we have an inside force, too. So,
yeah. What was your question?
I was just saying, what makes you confident in those sort of clutch situations?
I mean, just practice, I guess, and then also,
yes.
Keep it real. Practice.
Yeah, practice, and then just also my teammates, for
sure. With the win tonight, you guys wrapped up your first winning SEC record since 2006-2007. I know we talked about this a lot with all these sort of milestones. Are you able to process those sorts of things yet?
Well, today I was a little bit because I had to do some senior videos, so I was able to reflect. some. And when I was doing the videos, I was talking to one of our guys in media, and I said, didn't I tell you this was going to happen? In year one, I remember we used to have these things called external meetings, and we used to sit around, and it used to be, everybody was in there. If you were involved with women's basketball, you were in there, and we would have to report. And I told them, I said, guys, we're not always going to be at the bottom of the conference. You know, we're going to turn this program around. And that's why people are committed to this program, because they were here from the beginning. And so they're actually seeing everything that we said we would do. And that's because you bring in people like Kira and Angel and Monk and everyone that has joined us, and then the growth with Maddie, Snuda, and Mimi. That's what you have. And so I think I'll be able to reflect on it in depth after the season. Right now, like, I'm super focused. Like, I don't let them giggle. I'm like, oh, we need to be focused. You know, I'm like, I'm super intense because we have to finish the job. But I am proud and I am aware of what we're doing, but we just don't want to stop right now.
Speaking of Collins, how have you seen her progress? I mean, this season's basically almost over.
Yeah.
How have you seen her handle this year and grow?
You know, for sophomores, it's hard because it's easy for you to get into a slump. And the slump tried to attack both Maddie and Snuda at one point. But they fought through, and Snuda has really taken on the role of being a defender. And when she does that, her offense is an addition to what we have. She had some big stops. Snuda's 6'1", her wingspan is at a 6'5". So when she's long, it's hard to score over her. And I think when she made the decision that, you know, if I don't make a shot, I can still impact the game defensively. That's when it turned around for her. And so we're excited about that. And obviously, when she makes a shot, everyone gets excited.
Is there an early update yet on Vanetta, or is it too early to tell?
It's too early. I hadn't had a chance to check on her yet.
I don't know if you follow bracket talk and all that kind of stuff, but obviously there's a few games left in the SEC tournament. But do you feel like with what this team has done that you guys are pretty firmly in the tournament?
Oh, yeah. That's why we celebrated the way we did at Vandy. We acted like as if we won a national championship, and Vandy was looking around like, where you guys? But it was because we knew if we got that 8th win, there was no way they can keep us out. And so now we're past that. And I think, and I told my team, I feel like that's where, you know, I kind of made a mistake earlier. I was talking about being top 4, but we had yet to solidify being in the NCAA tournament. So what we did was took a step back and said, okay, let's make the necessary steps. So after Vandy, and we knew we notched, now we're talking about maybe let's see if we can be top 4. If not, let's keep winning. Let's keep growing, because we feel like we can do well in the SEC tournament, but most importantly in the NCAA tournament. I think it's hard. It's harder to win a SEC championship than probably a national championship. Our style, our brand, we are excited to put Ole Miss on the forefront. And obviously when the season's over and we find out what's going on, we'll SEC play, we'll definitely talk more in depth about that.
I mentioned it was out of your control. Played tonight, then Thursday, then back Sunday. Knowing that, you like having this week the way it is, heading into tournament play.
You gotta look at things from a positive. You know, you could control the controllables. I tell our players, the 2 things that they can control is their attitude and the effort. You know, so no use us sulking about it. This girl's getting ready to go to the W. When she goes, she has to play back-to-back nights after getting on a flight and going to play. We're getting ready to go to the SEC tournament. We plan on staying for a while, so we're going to have to play back-to-back. So it's a mindset. And if you feel sorry for yourself, then the results will be bad. But if you use it as, wow, this is a great opportunity, most times you can come out on the winning end.
Questions on Zoom? John, go ahead.
Hey, John. Good.
After that last loss that you guys had at Mississippi State. I believe you said you wanted your team to kind of grow up, and you're not in the NCAA tournament yet. Ever since then, you've won 3 games of all by 8 points or more. How do you kind of assess your team's ability to respond to how you felt after that Mississippi State game?
Well, like I said in another interview, it started with me, you know, just talking about refocusing on what we're really trying to do. You know, I think we kind of got caught up in the big picture, and we tripped over some steps because we tried to skip over a few. And so we needed to get into the tournament, you know. Okay, we lost at Mississippi State. Let's regroup and let's talk about what we're really trying to do. And so that started with me, and then my staff, and then my players. And since then, we are focused on where we're trying to go. And now that we know that we're in the tournament, we feel now it's like, okay, what's next? Well, what's next is seeing how many games we can win before we get to the NCAA tournament, and that's our goal.
David, go ahead.
Hey, we won't talk to you again before y'all play Auburn. Just what your thoughts are.
Well, we're getting ready to go into a fight. Johnny Harris has that team playing extremely hard. I've been a part of a program like that from the build, and when you're like that, you're dangerous because you have nothing to lose. And so they're just playing to continue to improve. And so that's a dangerous team. Hopefully for us, we don't feel like our back is up against a wall. You know, we don't have to go in there with a lot of pressure. We need to treat it as another opportunity for us to grow, period, point blank. So that's why that Vandy game was big for us, David, to get the pressure off. Imagine us going in to an Auburn game having to win to get to the tournament. You know, we don't have that stress, but they're playing extremely hard. I hadn't watched a whole lot of film on them, but I know that they're tough, and we're going to have to weather the storm and try to figure out how to come out there with a victory. Thanks.
Any other questions for Coach Angel or Shakira? Great, thanks everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, y'all.